Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush. With me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You, Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, You're Being Creepy Again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. If you're a first-time viewer, we do a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, of course, if you are attending live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in for you, I don't know. And if you're not attending live, you can submit your questions to Kris at Way of the Brush. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Wayofthebrush.com has links for all the social medias, as well as Discord. And, of course, it has links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in the shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, wayofthebrush.com also has links for Patreon support. Big thank you to all my patrons who currently support. Without your help, these things just would not happen, and so always much love for my patrons. And of course, if you're considering Patreon support, I have varying tiers to support at, pick whatever flavor makes sense to you and, enjoy. And if you're not able to contribute monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, follow the bell. Yeah, follow the bell. And, all that stuff helps as well. Sharing the video helps tremendously. Thumbing up and commenting, those are all very key factors in a video success and how often it gets, shared around the interwebs. Well, around YouTube anyway, according to their algorithm. Something like that. I don't know. I can't even spell algorithm. And of course, a big thank you to Carl, aka Guy Meir Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We also say thank you to Carl for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingle that plays before the email segment of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, much love to my baby bro, Evan, for creating the intro and outro music that plays before the show. And always just much love to him. Because, he didn't have to. He's a creative fella. He didn't have to. And he did. Because, I'm his bigger brother. So. Man, we got a bunch of emails to get through today. So we are in the spirit of keeping up on emails. Because I actually did episode, was it 289? This is 290 today? Yeah. 289. The email special. Just to catch up on emails. There was a whole bunch I had to do. And I actually got quite a few to get through today too. So sit back, enjoy. And so anybody tune in for the live Games Workshop Warhammer reveals. I know what was there? There was a whole bunch of things. I'm going to have to go back to the email here. Because the email kind of teases that what they were talking about here. Yeah, so we had the animated Warhammer stuff. I'm excited for that. That looks like a lot of fun. We had what the hell's his name from Lord of the Rings, Captain of the Guard. Anyway, had a reveal for him. Warcry, Fire Dudes, Elf, big mountain goat things or cows. I thought were pretty cool. Fabi Spile, he looks really cool. I like that they did pretty much keep him in the same fashion in which he used to be, just gave him an updated version, and I think that's fine. I wasn't expecting anything too hilarious out of a redo of that model. I'm glad that they stayed true to the original Jess Goodwin sketches of him, because the Jess Goodwin sketches are, really fantastic, and the original sculpt is really good. It's doesn't quite stand up to today's standards, but I think this new version of him, and he probably is going to be a lot bigger. I imagine he's probably going to be about yay big, and I think it was really cool. Again, I'm happy that he's getting an update. It would be nice if Eldar got an update, but whatever. I'm sure a lot of you are probably getting really tired of me harping on about that one. Update Eldar. No, don't update Eldar. Eldar suck. According to Gim, anyway. What was the last review? Oh, right. And then Lionel Johnson from Horus Heresy. That's it. I couldn't spit out the words. And so, yeah, Lionel Johnson. It's Horus Heresy. I don't really keep up with Horus Heresy. I'm still just getting into the books myself. And so I'm not, super fired up for the model. And I thought Lionel Johnson, he was dark-haired. He's painted up like he's blonde. And I thought he had dark hair. I thought the books describe him having dark hair. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. And, and then, of course, GW had to reveal that they were releasing this guy for everybody who wants to order him. He's pretty cool. He's a Primaris dude. He's just kind of standing there. I mean, it's Primaris. It's a Marine. I think we all know my feelings on the status of Marines. Right, the chat. I forgot all about the chat. Raciel, first. Eldari Lamborghini, second. Heretic Scott, third. Guys are playing games now. Oh my god. Sir Peanut Butter, Morning Peep, Kris and Peeps, excited about the line. I'm sure you're excited about the line. He's cool. I'd rather see a 40k version of him, similar to Rowboat. Anyway, yeah, I mean he's cool, and I mean who's left now for Horus Heresy, like Forge World Horus Heresy? Who's left? This should be 18 of them. Are there 18 now? I don't even know. Like I said, I don't even keep up with the stuff. G squared, fourth. Wouldn't that make you fifth? Daniel Horton. Could you be able to do some battle report with your Eldar army after all the madness goes away with Ash or Oni? Oni? Yeah, I probably could. Yeah, totally. Why not? Can totally happen. Mike Grimshaw, this may be the isolation speaking, but Kris is sure looking kind of pretty right now. I think it is the isolation. Thank God it's not the harsh winter. It's cold night, feeling lonely. You'll do. Roman Matanov. Hey Kris and everyone, been quite a while. Happy to be back live. How are you guys doing? We're doing okay, Roman. We're doing okay, I think. Well, I don't know. I imagine you're probably in the same situation that everybody else is in. Social distancing, wash your hands, don't touch your face. I've taken to just greeting people like this. I'm just flat up. This is my thing now. It sums up pretty much all the sentiment that I want to express in meeting somebody. So, and that way I don't have to touch them. I just, greetings, live long and prosper. All right. That's, and you know what? Like when you say it to somebody, it actually, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice because it's a nice sentiment because they're saying, I wish you long life and prosperity. I mean, what other kind of positive message can you send to somebody, Like the whole touching elbows thing, I don't get that one. That's just weird. Because realistically, bumping elbows, you run the risk of hitting your funny bone. And your funny bone will cause your arm to reflex, right? And so you can end up karate chopping somebody in the face inadvertently. Touch their face. You might cough on your hand, bump elbows, and then, and then bang, got corona. You got corona. So, why would you want to do that to anybody? I just don't get the bumping elbow things. I don't know where that come from. I don't understand. This planet, yes, does confound and horrify me. And, no, this one, live long and prosper. I mean, I can't quite get my pinky in because my ring keeps my pinky way out like that, but this hand I can do it. And then I can do it with both hands. And then I can go like that, and then like that, Anyway. Anybody watch Picard? Holy shit. I watched the last 2 episodes. I was mostly on board with Picard. Spoiler. This is a spoiler. If you haven't turned into Picard, you plug your ears, because, yeah. I was mostly on board with Picard. I was enjoying myself. I was entertained. I was entertained. And the last two episodes just derail all the characters. Like, and of course, like, I was thinking that it should have ended how it looked like it was going to end. And I'd have been okay with that. I would have been okay with that. And then it took the whole, goofy Star Trek route, and it just, oh, come on. Really? 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 I don't know. I was a little disappointed in the ending. I was a little disappointed in that season finale. I thought it should have ended where it seems like it's going to go, and I was a little disappointed on how it ended. And some of the characters, how they just take complete left turns, and I was like, whoa, what, huh? Wait, where's this coming? Like, these romances of all these characters, like, it just completely out of left field, and it's like we had no build up to these, and then all of a sudden, bang, we're like, there it is. That's what's happening. It's like, how did we get to that point? I mean, I don't care that these, any of these characters are into each other, but where did it come from? You know what I mean? Like it just comes out of left field, and it's like, well, what the F? Like, the one that really kind of, like, I was like, was the captain. And the captain, I'm like, what? Where did, like, what? What? And so that's where my my nerd rage kind of kicked in, because I was like, what? It didn't make any sense, and they took the shortcut, and it was disappointing. I was on board for a majority of the at all, really, because I kind of thought this was going to be like a big send off, and it wasn't, and yeah, it feels like they want to tie it into Discovery. That's a mess. Second season wasn't terrible, wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. At least it was telling somewhat of a cohesive story, and there was these arcs throughout the the season. But I don't know. So it was. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Holy cramoles! But the cough here. Daniel Horton, could we see you, Ash Owen, doing a 40k Tumpy? What's a Tumpy? A 40k Tumpy and treachery game after all the madness is over? Yeah, we could. Who knows? Anything's possible. Anything is possible. NorCal Todd, morning everyone. Morning NorCal. Johnny Chop Shop, I need a hug. You need a hug? Should we start a delivery service for hugs? Kind of like, skip the dishes. Just, call the service up, put your credit card in. Somebody shows up at your door. We'll hire like a whole bunch of different kinds of people. We'll have like, male, female, young, old. You know what I mean? Because maybe somebody out there wants a hug from their grandma. And then, grandma can't come. So we get a proxy for grandma show up at your house, and she's, hello, Shani, and then gives you a hug, and then, $25 per hug. Of course, now we got to charge premium because of Corona. So, I don't know where I was going with any of that, but anyway. Eldari Lamborghini, not a bad idea, Kris. Not bad idea. Live long and prosper indeed. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, like, that, you got to be a bit of a nerd to know what this is, but the sentiment behind it is positive, and I mean, everybody's a nerd these days, so, live long and prosper, man, like, let's not touch hands, of course, unless you're going to do the Vulcan mind meld, jeez, talking about Vulcan mind melds. An android does a Vulcan mind meld. Apparently anybody can do it. Apparently you just got to take a seminar and anybody can do a fucking Vulcan mind meld. I was just, what? Again, you know, the last episode, spoiler, it just, you know, yeah, it's a hot mess. I don't know about a hot mess, but yeah. And then, and then at the end too, with all the Romulan ships, and then all the, you know, all the Federation ships, and it's, you know, it looked like somebody in the art department copy and pasted. I mean, like, at least, you know, in DS9, you know, they had a variation in ship designs and, you know, all these things partaking in this, you know, galactic battle, but, you know, the Federation just shows up with just one type of ship, just, you know, it's like, oh, what the, you know, all right. It's just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Sir Peanut Butter, unfortunately, my job is considered essential, so I'm not going into work during the week. I'm still going to work during the week. My job's essential, but I'm not going in. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, yeah. You're doing your part, sir. You're doing your part. Ghost Starman Deluxe. The funny bone thing is a secret ninja technique, so you can infect people without them realizing. Yeah, you just bump elbows and whatcha like that, and just oh what the, you know, got corona. Old Man Logan over on Twitch. Hello, Kris and Monkey Friends. Hello, old man. Eldari Lamborghini. Kris going what? Sounds a lot like the Elite from Halo 1 or 2. What? Wrought by Vulcan. Drugs not having gas. Drugs not having gas. Drugs not hugs. Drugs not hugs. Yeah, no. Hugs not drugs. Drugs? Come on, you don't need drugs. Well, I mean, some people need drugs, but I wasn't 100% sure where I was going with any of that, but yeah. Sometimes. I'm just going to say sometimes. Sometimes drugs. But hugs all the time. Even during Corona, man. Screw it. I'll risk Corona. If I was feeling lonely, a hug. You know? If I could give like a virtual hug to everybody right now, well, I can, because this is virtual. So there you go. There's a hug. Feel better. Don't feel so isolated, especially if you live alone and such. You don't have company of, you know, a pet or goldfish or something like that, because you can't hug a goldfish, because goldfish just, you know, they just don't hug back. A dog can hug you back, kind of. And a cat can hug you back, but it's when you get into the belly scratching thing and then they try and hug you and they kick you with their back feet, that's annoying. And you end up all cut up, and then you got wounds everywhere, and then you look like you're cutting yourself, and then of course you'll probably get committed, in which case you'll probably end up with corona. So, you know, maybe not hug your cat. Sophie Wow, hope you're looking after yourself with this virus about. I don't want to do without my fresh tips and way of the brush. Yeah, well, I mean, so far, knock on wood, everything's going okay. We've all been, you know, self-isolating, and of course my son was laid off for the time being. My wife still has to go to work, and it's not an essential business. They claim it is, but it's not. And so, you know, she's still got to go in, but they're like totally skeleton crew, and they're only letting, like, I guess a couple people in. It's still bullshit, but yeah, she doesn't have to go to work, but they're making her go to work. It's kind of horse shit. It's endangering lives, and they're endangering my life, and they're endangering my son's life, because both my son and I, we are at risk. We fit within the at-risk category, so, you know, it's not really cool. So if I die, my wife's employers, be warned. If they're watching, if somebody from my wife's work is watching, be warned. I will be avenged. Somehow. Wrought by Vulcan. Big time spell correct. Yeah. Hugs not drugs, or drugs not hugs? Drugs not hugs, or hugs not drugs? Or hug your drugs. Hug your drugs? Or not in you know, the 24th century. Oof, had a spike there. What's going on? What is going on? That was a big spike. I don't know. I imagine my internet, because I'm on cable, right? And so cable is, like a massive network. And, I'm going to type these guys out. I'm warning the family. Knock off the shit. Lagging my stream. There we go. No, it was the stream. It was. I can see it on my end. It was my stream. For whatever reason, I just noticed it just a moment ago that I had a big spike. But like I was saying, I'm on cable, and cable is like a big network with your, basically your neighborhood or whatever the node is, right? And with everybody being home, I imagine network traffic is probably quite busy. Daniel Horton, are Canada government giving you daily reports yet over coronavirus like they do in the UK? Daily reports? Yeah. Oh yeah, there's lots of daily shit. I mean, I think they're keeping everybody informed. I mean, I stay informed, but I'm kind of like, watching just a lot of the talks about, really how it's affecting the world and, all that. I mean, I stay informed with the Canadian side of things, but, it's really not, not that much. I mean, right now it's just, self-isolate. Just, take it upon yourself to self-isolate. Do what needs to be done. It's a huge shit sandwich, and everybody's got to take a bite. Johnny Chop Shop, Way the Brush 290, live long and prosper, or at 25 a hug. Mark Hill, hey Kris, long time no see. Welcome back, Mark. Rocked by Vulcan, elbow shaking came from Young Frankenstein. It's a kiss from non-lovers, for non-lovers. I've only seen bits and parts of Young Frankenstein. That's the one, Mel Brooks. Is that the one? Yeah, I'm thinking of. Anyway, I've only seen bits and pieces of that one. Yeah, stream's back. Yeah, it was just a short spike. Apparently, my daughter loaded up Overwatch. Apparently that's what it was. I told everybody to knock the shit off. Sir Peanut Butter. Frames jamming like Clapton. Yeah, like I said, it's, what can I do other than kick everybody off the internet? Then I have to deal with a bunch of angry people. It's a busy network at my house. And last week when I was getting the spikes, that was because I was like, well, what's causing these spikes? It's because my wife was on Netflix. And we have 4K Netflix up in the bedroom. And so she was watching 4K Netflix upstairs while the kids are playing Xbox while I'm doing this. So you can imagine it taxes the internet kind of hard. Jabba's Left Nut. It's like stop motion. Ebb and Flow. Sup, everybody? Sup. Daniel Horton. Have you talked to anyone at Winnie Wargaming since they had to close down because of this? No. I haven't talked to anybody at Mini Wargaming since I left. I've not talked to anybody from Mini Wargaming. I've visited Dan, who owns Max Aggression, because I think I was picking something up. Yeah. But yeah, I've talked to Dan. But Dan's not part of Mini Wargaming. But no, otherwise, no, I haven't talked to anybody. And yeah. Not since I left. That's what, August? Is that already August? Oof. Man, how time flies. How time flies when you're busy, man. But yeah, I seen that they had to close down. Well, I mean, they're not essential, right? So, doing their part too, I suppose. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Apparently, we hit 1K coronavirus deaths in the UK. Oh yeah, definitely, right? I mean, it's now, mind you, I mean, there's a lot more people in the UK than there are in Canada, and so if Canada hits 1,000 deaths, that's pretty big. If Canada hits 1,000, because there's only like 35 million people in Canada, right? As opposed to like the UK. I don't even know what the population of the UK is, but yeah, I mean America is like 300, almost 350, 330, something like that. Something like that, million people, right? It's not like India or China. And again, I don't know how India is reporting such low numbers when people are living shoulder to shoulder there. I don't know how they're doing that, unless of course nobody's getting tested. That's the only thing. Or they're not releasing the numbers because they'd just be mind-blowingly huge. Or maybe they're all immune to it. I mean, that's another one. Maybe they're immune. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Where the hell am I? Mark Hill, still got my Space Marine that I won. Cool. Which one? Which Space Marine? I don't remember. But anywho, awesome. Hopefully he's sitting on your shelf. Hopefully, all of you, in your hobby areas, hopefully you have the space you can do. I often refer to this stuff as my shelf of happiness, where basically it is completed projects, work in progresses, or just stuff I really enjoy. I mean, I've got Funkos and Bob Ross and what else? Oh, my bobblehead, my disturbing bobblehead. And I got like projects on the go here, and I got completed models and stuff like that. A shelf of happiness. Just kind of look at your shit and just say or a project that you're working through and say, okay, well, because if you're gonna leave projects out in the open as your work in progress kind of thing, try to have the bare minimum in front of you. Just having your whole army arrayed, it looks pretty awesome initially, but then when you sit down and got to work on it, it's like, I got to work on this, and so you kind of defeat yourself even before before you even get started, right? So yeah. Harry. Hey, monkeys. I'm in my bunker working on Blood Angels, trying to healthy and safe. Well, I try to healthy and safe as well. In whatever I'm doing. In all aspects of life, I'm always trying to be healthy and safe. I'm not sure why we have to be especially healthy and safe right now when if you're always practicing good hygiene and being healthy and safe, it's just another day. It's kind of like, now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably going to disagree with this, but it's kind of like when you're in a relationship, especially for anybody who's been in a long relationship, and, Valentine's Day comes around. Show that special someone that you really care. Well, I prefer not to get worked up over one day of really showing somebody I really care. I would rather every day I show I really care and appreciate that person. Right? Doesn't that make more sense? That you treat every day like it's Valentine's Day, like it's Christmas, like it's their birthday. You know what I mean? Like, that only makes more sense, because then that way every day is special and you truly appreciate those around you when you are, seizing the day, as it were, because you don't know if you have tomorrow. You don't know. So seize today. Seize the day. Always. And just like that. And so practicing, good hygiene, staying healthy and safe, I'm always live long and prosper. Again, I think I'm totally going with that. Whenever I meet anybody new. And I haven't met anybody new, so I haven't really had a chance to kind of bust it out on somebody. But, yeah. That's what I'm going with. The touching elbows thing? No. What's the other one that the people are doing? Something else. I can't think of it. But there was another one. It's ridiculous. Oh, maybe like fist bumping? That's still making contact? That doesn't make sense. Because like touching elbows. I mean, my elbow touches the table, touches this, and then bang, I touch, you know what I mean? Like, your elbows touch stuff. You're still making contact. This, no contact, right? And, you know, that makes more sense to me. Fritz, I don't even know where the hell I am now. Fire Drake 18, is it true that Canadians are getting $2,000 a month? We Yanks get $1,200 once. Yeah, $2,000 a month, yeah. Yep, apparently. Well, you got to remember too, though, Canadian dollar is worth less than the American dollar. So, you know, it's probably closer to the same, really. Sophie, wow. They only you going out to do shopping only when you need to here in the UK. Not that peeps are following the rules. Yeah. Again, though, I mean, like, self-isolating is a big part, but I mean, you still need to go out, right? I mean, you still need to go out for your own sanity, right? And, you know, just practice, you know, not being in large groups. You know what I mean? If you see there's a long lineup for something, don't be that person to stand in line. Go do something else. Come back. You know what I mean? Like, and ask yourself, do I really need this right now? Nah, not really. Okay, I'll go. You know? Just things, you know, just avoid these kind of things, right? Jabba's Left Nut. I think UK is about 66 million. Really? I thought it was more than that. I mean, that's lots. Don't get me wrong. Because, I mean, like, that's twice as much as in Canada. And, you know, I think all of the UK can fit in the province of Ontario. So, it's, you know, pretty dense. Ghost Star Mandalux puts into perspective how much empty space there is in Canada. It's not empty space. There's lots of space. It's not empty. It's not empty. And it's extra? I don't know about extra either. It is occupied. People see that's the problem. People seem to think that North America is just, you know, vast, untapped resource. It's not. It's occupied. That's dangerous to think that. It's dangerous to think that. Aldari Lamborghini Drinker is funny. I go back and forth on his reviews. Nothing with that. Reziel, I also really like Pitch Meeting series. Yeah, the Pitch Meetings, I love Pitch Meeting. Ryan George? Yeah, Ryan George. He's hilarious. Sophie Wow. Oh, romantic Kris. Well, yeah, I am a bit of a romantic. I have been known to write poetry from time to time. And, you know, but it's just a way of looking at life, you know, and in general, it's just, you know, like why, like my wife, you know, I try to never miss an opportunity to say thank you and to show her my appreciation, to show her that, you know, that I love and respect her, you know, and if I forget, then I feel like an asshole, you know. Of course, you know, it doesn't stop me from, you know, teasing her from time to time too. So, you know, but when Valentine's Day rolls around, I mean, like, I don't really get worked up. We don't get really worked up about it because, you know, I mean, we've been married over 20 years and, you know, I prefer a nice, steady, even keel to things rather than highs and lows, you know? Ooh, it's super great. Oh, she's an asshole. Oh, it's great. Oh, she's an ass, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how people enjoy that kind of drama, and it's not for me. I don't like drama, other than on TV or in the movies. In make-believe. Real life drama, I don't care for. Jabba's Left Nut. I think the split in the UK is 5.5 meters. Scotland is 1 meter. Wales, and the rest England. I'm not sure what that means. Ghost Star Mandalux, just flip each other off. Just walk around. Hello, sir. Hello. Yeah, but that's, you know, I mean, like, come on. Then this loses all its power, right? Because, you know what I mean? Like, telling people to fuck off is, you know, that's a powerful thing, and it's lasted centuries, right? Let's introduce something new, a new sentiment to people, right? Because, I mean, this symbol means live long and prosper, which is a positive sentiment to say to somebody as a greeting or as a goodbye. Not goodbye, but, a parting. So, yeah. Fire Drink 18. The Demolition Man air high five. I don't remember that. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Where they dink and then. Yeah. Our world is becoming more and more like Demolition Man. You notice? I seen all the memes about the 3 shells. Oh, man. When everybody's going crazy buying up toilet paper. Are people still going crazy buying up toilet paper? I don't even know. We bought all our toilet paper and so we haven't gone back. Oh, shit. Daniel Horton, do you enjoy painting over playing? I like to think of myself as more of a 50-50 kind of wargamer. Maybe 51-49 kind of thing. Break up the pie graph however you like, but I consider myself, between the two, even though more often than not, painting is dominantly what I do, what I've known for, but for what I enjoy gaming as much as I enjoy painting. And I find that for me personally, I find that when I game, it makes me want to paint. And when I'm painting, I want to game. And then so it's this holistic kind of approach to hobbiness. I know there's a lot of people out there who, they see themselves as only into the background or only into, wargaming or only into, the painting aspect. And I'm not a I don't know what's the word for that. I'm not that focused to begin with. I like to take a nice broad approach to things. I like to see the larger picture at hand. I like to embrace a larger picture of the Force. And, I don't just, appreciate the painting side of things. And I don't just appreciate the background side of things. And I don't just appreciate the gaming side of things. I like all those things. I like reading the background. I like reading, in the codexes, the stories and stuff like that. I like all that. I appreciate the art in this hobby. I appreciate the painting. I appreciate other people's paintings. Some people out there are really doing some fantastic stuff. And I appreciate the gaming. And I used to really enjoy competitive type playing. I still kind of do. I'm not looking to be, the greatest wargamer out there or anything like that. But I do enjoy competitive play because it feels a bit more something at stake. And sometimes I enjoy having fun, but a game that, especially with the older editions of 40K, games where the rule complexity was a little bit more, bloated. Complexity, bloated, pick your word. And so if you're going to go into that kind of, game, you kind of want something at stake. And sometimes that's also the narrative, right? And you have this narrative going and, there's something at stake, the story, the characters that you created, what's going to happen to them? Where's it going to go? What danger is going to happen to your characters and the army or whatever, right? And so that's really fulfilling as well, because again, because you have narrative gaming, which is wide open, story driven, for fun. Then you have competitive gaming, right? Tournaments, stuff like that. You also have that with the painting, because you have the painting for fun, relax, just get my stuff. I just like to paint models, either just painting one off. I just like to look at that model, I buy it and I paint it, or you are collecting your army and you want to, slowly build up, but you want it to look really nice on the tabletop, right? And then of course, or maybe never see the tabletop, you just like painting. And then of course you have the competitive side, people who want to, paint for competition. Sure, right? I guess really for the background, there's not competitive reading, is there? Is there competitive reading? I don't think there's competitive reading. So, you know, but yeah, I consider myself more of a, I don't know, complete. I would say complete because I enjoy almost just about every aspect of this hobby. I don't know if there's an aspect that I don't like, but I leave that open because maybe there is something that I don't really care for. I don't know. But yeah, you know. Reziel, the new Lionel Johnson's pretty awesome. While I agree with Kris, I'd rather have him in 40k. I am relieved they didn't disappoint me with his model the way some of them did. He's my favorite Primarch. Well, you're already biased in that regard, and so hopefully, you know, they didn't disappoint. I didn't care for his helmet thing. I liked him unhelmeted. That was cool. But again, I didn't think he was blonde. I thought they described him as having darker hair. Or maybe that's me. I don't know. Or maybe they just didn't describe him. But either way. Yeah, he looks cool. I mean, you know, he's a Primarch. He's a big Space Marine. You know. Again, I'm not really fired up for Horus Heresy. I know if I was going to get into Horus Heresy and start collecting a force for it, I probably would go Imperial Fists. Just because, you know, they're obviously the granddaddy to Crimson Fists, which is, you know, my favorite Space Marine chapter. Just, I like the color scheme. I like the vibe. I like the background for them, you know. But they're Space Marines. But if I'm going to go Space Marines, that's where I'm going. Crimson Fists. Stern Guard. I like Stern Guards. And I've gone on about this one before. I want Primaris Stern Guard. I want nice big Space Marines Stern Guard. That's what I want. GW, if you're listening, I want Primaris Stern Guard. But even before that, maybe Eldar. Excuse me, Eldari. Let's get some Eldari going. I want actually though, seriously, Eldari are in dire need of an update. Dire. Like, it's dire. I'm not just being melodramatic. I'm serious. It's dire. Where am I? Ebb and Flow. Kris, I thought we agreed it was Live Long and Prosper, or the bird. Yeah, the bird, I mean, like, you know, this loses all meaning, and this is for flipping people off, and I'm not really one for flipping off a total stranger. Unless, of course, they slight me in some way, then I'm all for flipping them off. But they were a jerk first. If they did it first, then, you know what I mean? I don't like to start fights, but I sure as shit will finish a fight. So, yeah. And it's the same thing. But, I mean, you know, live long and prosper. I mean, you know, how can you get wrong? How can that be wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you might get some giggles, but, I mean, if everybody starts doing it, then it just becomes the social norm, right? If everybody does it, it just becomes the social norm. So, and why not? This is the perfect time to begin new things. Because once everybody, just like the groundhogs, emerging from our holes in the ground, and we're seeing the light again, you know, there's going to be new social norms. There's going to be new social norms. So why not just start this off on the right foot? Why not? Just why not? Let's see if it will catch on. Sir Peanut Butter can't do the live long and prosper gesture with either hand. Yeah, I know some people can't do it. Well, too bad. It's like chopsticks. Can you hold chopsticks? Probably not. If you can't do this, you probably can't do chopsticks. I'm willing to bet. I'm gonna bet. Like actual money. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. How much empty of humans space there is then? What? How much empty of humans? Oh, you mean like as far as like what Canada's concerned? Or North America for that matter? Well, look at Asia. Look at any country. Like, other than maybe India. But even India, you imagine India being, you know, like just the entire country is just like border to border. It's just people, right? But I remember there was this one thing. I can't remember what the hell it was. I think, was it a video or was it an article? But it said if you took all of the people of the planet and put them into one place, like if you herded up all the people, had them standing shoulder to shoulder in one place, it would only occupy the entirety, I think, of the Los Angeles, the area of Los Angeles. That's all the people. So we have this entire planet, and you know, we don't need it to be full of people, because obviously you need, you know, an ecosystem. If the entire planet was just occupied by people, the ecosystem would be completely destroyed and this planet would become uninhabitable. We might be the dominant life form on this planet. Maybe that is up for debate, but we're definitely not outside of the ecosystem. We are not top of the food chain. That's false. All other life on this planet does not serve us in some fashion or form. The environment is not something that we can even control. So this planet, we are at the mercy of everything. And control is an illusion. It's an illusion. So, no. Rezio, damn it, Kris, you're technically correct. The best kind of correct. Sophie, well, I think I'll move to Canada. Sounds spacious, though I'll probably get kicked out for being too bratty. No, you'll fit right in. Yeah. You'll fit right in. If you've been, there's a lot of entitled little pricks walking around here. Even in this godforsaken town that I'm in. Yeah. There's a lot of entitled little pricks walking around. If you feel that you fit within that category, you'll fit right in here in Canada. Yeah. So Sophie's not sure if I'm insulting her or not. I was like, wait, is he insulting me? I don't know. Something said, not good. What was it? Aaron Seach, there he is. Society like Demolition Man. If they start finding people for swearing, I'm fucked. Yeah, same here. Yeah. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Kris, you're a wargaming polytheist? Polytheist? Is that an actual... Are you throwing a label at me? Is that what's going on? Ghost of Starman Deluxe, are you throwing labels at me? Come on. Come on. Come on now. You know how Kris feels about labels. Do you? I don't know. I think you might have a good idea by now. Eldari's talking to Sophie. Eldari. Kris being one of them. Being one of the brats. Really? Yeah, probably. Rezio, Kris, it's exactly because I was biased towards the line. I was worried about disappointment, but happily, I approve of the model. And yes, he was always blonde. His beard is less important, in my opinion. Really, I finished Dark Angel not too long ago, or Descent of Angels? I don't know, the Horus Heresy Dark Angels book. And I don't remember describing him as blonde. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I don't know, I don't imagine Johnson kind of like dark, kind of like how Corax is. Kind of like that. You know what I mean? But, what do I know? Again, Space Marines. I don't really care. Fucking Space Marines. I don't care. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Everyone does it, becomes the new social norm. Me trying to convince my friends they should all snort crack in McDonald's. Snort crack in McDonald's? Why? Why would... What? What? Why would you want to snort crack in McDonald's? Why? Hold on. Okay. I'm not saying that McDonald's is the place where people go to do healthy activities, because far from it, right? But yeah. Now, are we talking about snorting crack right off those dirty countertops? Because that's gross. Are we talking about doing it in the playland? That's even grosser and weirder. And I'm not sure if you ended up in court, which one would be worse. That you were snorting crack in a McDonald's playground, or that you were, I'm going to assume, an adult in a kid playground. I mean, and I guess it depends on really how much crack are we talking about? Are we talking about like a little rock or a big boulder? Like I don't even know what the fucking measurements are for crack. I don't think I've ever seen crack. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen other drugs, coke, even seen heroin, but not crack. I don't think so. If I did, I probably didn't know what it was. But yeah, I've never tried it. Had no interest in it. Yeah. Despite how, Kris might seem a little bit off, my drug experiences is quite minimal. Other than alcohol, weed, hash, stuff like that. But, no, I've never really been compelled. And honestly, wargaming, this hobby itself, when I was a teenager, I think this is what kind of kept me out of a lot of trouble. Because I was more concerned about putting my meager earnings towards models and paints and books, and you know what I mean? I was more concerned with that than getting high, getting drunk. Mind you though, as I got older, when I hit about 15, I think it was, I was doing quite a bit of partying and, chasing girls and, partying and stuff like that. And so, yeah, a lot of my paychecks were going to, alcohol and cigarettes and, things like that. But I still had money for my Warhammers. But my pile would gather, and you know what I mean. And well, I would do warhammering between girls, basically. Is what's happening. Anyway, where am I? Fire drinking team. Drinking Coke was once the social norm, so bring back Coke. Yeah, give Coke a chance. Wait a minute. Give Coke, drinking Coke was the social norm. Do people not drink Coke anymore? Is it fallen out of social favor? I don't know. Ariel Sasinski. Hi Kris. Hi everyone. Hi Aaron. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Polytheist, as in believes in many gods. You embrace all wargaming pillars, so wargaming polytheist. Is it polytheist? 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 I don't know. I'm not familiar with the word. Embrace all wargaming pillars? Sure. Yes. Okay. If that's a term we're throwing out there, I usually, again, like I say, I don't go in for labels. So, but if we're throwing a label on it, sure. Banshun. Hi Kris. I'm in Japan. I talk to my mother every day. England. My mother every day, England. Are you saying your mother is England? All right, real patriot. While there are a lot of dicks out there, so I know, she is overwhelmed by the way the people are coming together, even socially distanced. Yes, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I was hit right in the feels when I first watched the Italians in their isolation, and they were singing and from their balconies and such, and I thought that was inspirational, that even despite something as a pain in the ass and as life and death, especially in Italy, that they could still sing and be joyous, right? And I that's inspirational. And people again just need to get their fucking heads out of their asses, because be thankful for what you've got. And I think that's another lesson. I've talked about this a few times. Empathy is the big lesson I think everybody's going to learn during this. And if you're not learning it, then I don't know. Pretty thick-skulled anyway. And appreciate what you've got. Especially your health, quite literally. Because yeah, fucking people are just dying from this shit. This shit isn't about you. It's not about you. It's about protecting the person next to you. It's about protecting your neighbor. That's what it's about. It's not about you. It's not about how strong you think you are, how immune you think you are. It's about protecting the person next to you. That requires a degree of empathy. And seeing that kind of thing in Italy, it's inspirational because despite them taking horrendous casualties from this, and we'll use casualties because it's kind of like they're at war. The world's at war, and they can still be a beacon of hope. Without being overly dramatic, of course, but anyway. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Have some class, Kris. You snort crack off the little box of nuggets that come in. Have some class, man. You don't do it off the fry container. You crush it up a little bit on the McNuggy box. You add a little hot mustard, and away you go. I mean, do people even snort crack? I thought it was smoked. I thought crack was smoked. I thought that was the whole point of crack, was that you smoked it. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know. What is this, like a drug seminar? Johnny Chop Shop, and we officially went off the rail. Officially off the rails. Eldari Lamborghini. I think it's equally bad to smoke crack in either Mickey D's or the playground, but I'd love to see such a case play out. Yeah. Like, which is the worst crime, really? Doing the crack or doing the crack in the playground? Which is it? Either one, I think, ends you up on probation and some sort of watch list, I think. Or in the clink, one of the two. Ariel Sinzinski. I don't know about crack, but based on those new elf minis, cocaine's probably a hell of a drug. Yeah, definitely. I like the cow bull thing with the mountain on its shoulders. I thought that was cool. I like the one with the little bonsai trees on the mountains. That looks freaking cool. It's crazy. But you know what? Like I've said it many times. Age of Sigmar is really fun because they can go anywhere with it. And because it can go anywhere, people are so much more accepting of these crazy ass models. And they're crazy. They're crazy models. And they're great. It's great. And, I can see why Age of Sigmar has gathered a lot of steam since its release. And, because the models are just very interesting. And the universe is just very interesting. And it's a brand new playground. And I don't know why people are always whining about bringing back old Warhammer 40 or fantasy. Fuck, let it die. Let it die. You're hanging on to the past, man. Let it go. It was fun. It had its run. But where else was it going to go? You weren't going to end up with these mountain bulls. You weren't going to end up with flying fishmen. You weren't going to end up with, whatever, fire dwarves. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't going to have those things. You would have been totally like, this is freaking stupid in Warhammer Fantasy. This is freaking stupid. This doesn't make any sense. How can this? It doesn't make any sense. But with Age of Sigmar, it can be anything. You can go anywhere with it. And everybody will accept it because you can go anywhere with it. And that's great. I think that's fantastic. It's really, really exciting because it's a blank canvas, so to speak. And, G-Dub can paint whatever picture they want. And I think that's great. That's awesome. Well, where am I? Mark Hill. Kris, you will remember my old nickname, which was Night Orc. Used to watch with Cody Rue and Drewski. Cool. No, I don't remember. Raziel, damn, for a second I thought there was going to be a comment about being overwhelmed by dicks. Yeah. My mom's still in England and she's being overwhelmed by dick. Oh, your poor mother. I pray for her. Unless, of course, she's happy about it, then, she's like really hot. Is your mom really hot? She's just being overwhelmed by dick. She's calling up on the phone. She's like, Sonny, I'm being overwhelmed by dick. This is the most dick I've had in years. Yeah, Ben should totally tuned out. He's like, fuck you, man. Talking about mama. That's mama. Bench. As a dwarf player, I felt socially distanced for years. GW shows no love for the bearded stunties. Well, they do now. Well, I mean, the fire dwarves or fire slayers, I was really fired up for those, and in fact, those almost got me at the time into Age of Sigmar, because I love the slayers. The slayers were the best thing about dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy, other than Bretonnians. I love Bretonnians, but the slayers, and I'm a whole army of slayers riding dragons. Like, what's not to love about that? And so it'd be nice to see some more variety in that army. I would like to see, second wave type stuff from like these initial releases, right? Because Stormcast Eternals, kind of like Space Marines, they're kind of jam packed with different units, where everybody else gets sidelined, and it's kind of let's see some more. Let's see some more stuff here. Let's like the blank canvas. We can go anywhere with this crap, right? Of course, make it compelling, I guess, for the gameplay as well, right? But come on, every good guy needs a bad guy. Every He-Man needs a Skeletor, for God's sakes. GW, for God's sakes. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket. Space Marines. It's all Space Marines. Space Marines? Yeah, it's the Space Marines. Who's the Space Marines fighting? Space Marines. That's fucking boring. He-Man needs Skeletor. Come on. Fire Drake 18. There are restaurants in Tennessee giving away free 100-pound of food to people who lost their job. It's a good thing, but a sad state of affairs that they have to do that. Well, I mean, it's better that they give it away than just let it rot. And yeah. But I mean, what else are they going to do? I mean, restaurants and any kind of gathering areas, they have to be shut down. Because otherwise, people are just going to come in there and swarm it, pack it full of people. And, because if it's open, people are going to show up. If it's open, and people are going to show up. And if it's not essential, it doesn't need to be open because people are going to show up, And the whole point of this is to stop the outbreak. And America, I mean, like, man, you guys are, again, it's still gonna, the numbers are gonna keep going up. Now, everybody who's gonna be infected by now might already be infected, right? But the numbers are still gonna keep going up because it's as people are getting tested, right? And so those numbers are gonna go up, and hopefully that the exponential jump will end soon. Hopefully. The testings are important because that way you can properly treat people. That's why testings are so important. And of course, if everybody was, speaking about things accurately, there would be no confusion about, where things stand in the country, right? But that's a discussion for another time. Johnny's Chop Shop, where I live, people getting stabbed over toilet paper, lost all faith in humanity. Happens. Are they clotting the wounds with the toilet paper? Saleswoman from Hell, just finished the D&D session and now I'm here. Well, welcome. NorCal Todd, episode 290, Know Your Drugs. Yeah. Saleswoman from Hell, Warhammer Fantasy Battle was too vanilla. Kill all the old Marines as well. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's a point I was going to initially make when I was talking about Horus Heresy. I don't know if I could get into Horus Heresy because I like big Space Marines. I like big butts. And I won't deny, those other brothers can't deny. I like Primaris Space Marines. They're nice and big. Do I have an old Space Marine around here? No, I don't. Yeah, I kind of do. You know what I mean? Like, all the Horus Heresy guys are this old Space Marine size. Now, here is a model. Bad Kris, but I can't quite remember. This buddy gave me a Kris Space Marine Stern Guard in the mini wargaming chapter. And, yeah, because he's got the big old mustache. Anyway, regular Space Marine, all right? Regular Space Marine, Horus Heresy scale, right? Regular Space Marine, and then a Primaris Marine. Like, this looks like bring your son to work day. You know what I mean? Like, come on. This is how I imagine Space Marines, right? So that's kind of why I'm not into Horus Heresy. Because the Space Marines, by comparison, I like big Space Marines. And I won't deny. Saleswoman from Hell. Steampunk Pirate Dwarves. That shit's dope. Dope. Aaron Siege, per my Discord post, GW can observe my middle finger when this pandemic is over, I'm starting a riot. LOL. Okay. Saleswoman from Hell. They got cutlasses. They got cannons. They got ships. They got boarding hooks. They're pirates. Banshun. My mother is 79 and I can confirm, you can confirm it, really. Dick is not on the menu. Where the hell is this conversation going? I don't know. You could have left it as such to just me being an asshole, but no, you responded. You sunk to my level. That's what you did, Banshun. You sunk to my level. Because now that statement begs the question. I can confirm Dick is not on the menu. You can confirm it. How can you confirm that? Let's talk us on the menu. Right? I mean, I'm not ribbing you, Banshun, but I am ribbing you, because how can you confirm that Dick is not on the menu? And now everybody else is wondering that themselves. They're like, how does he know? How does he know? Razio, I know I would have really hard time not showing up to the hobby store if they weren't closed. I need supplies. Yeah, and that's kind of a tough one, right? For a bunch of us right now. You know, I mean, as long as the mail still works, we can still order stuff, but you know, you want to support your local hobby place. Maybe contact the owner and see if you can, you know, do hobby drops like a drug deal. You meet on a park bench. He's got a package. You know, leaves it on the bench, walks away. You grab the package and then you walk away. You know, and you just pay him by PayPal or whatever. I don't know. But I mean, if you really, because if they're closed, you know, and if you really do care about your local hobby place, I know some people, you know, they buy from their local hobby place only because they don't have any other good alternatives, and the local owner is kind of a dick, and you know, so it's completely up to you. You do have a choice. Coma just popped in to say hi. Gotta catch the show later. I'm at home. I'm not home right now. Okay. Robert Marshall, never sink to that level. Soon we will be delving into sexual orientation of orcs. Saleswoman from Hell. Orcs only have two genders, Daka and Chappa. Oh no, Banshun responded. Kris, I am way below your level. My mother told me Dick was off the menu after she finished menopause in her 50s. I can get it in writing if you want. No, I don't want you to get it in writing. And, you know, she was in her 50s. She lied. It's like, okay, if your mom's a good-looking woman, yeah, she lied. I even in her 50s, I'm sure she's still prowling. She's still prowling. She just didn't want to break her little baby's heart, knowing that she was, you know, Dick was still on the menu. I mean, it's only healthy, right? What does that sound? I heard funny sounds. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, is she still a healthy, attractive woman? Well, she's 79 now, of course, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we go sometimes. Holy shit. We're already an hour and 15 into this? No way. No way. Did I blank out? Did I blank out and stare at the screen for a while or something? Because, man. G squared. Why must we sink so low every time? Because it's fun. It's fun. And it's fun to have fun. And fun is fun. So, yeah. Benshun. So today's title is Meat is Back on the Menu, Boys. Is your boss 79 prowling the streets? Well, I mean, like, you know, this day and age, I mean, people are like, you'd be surprised how many people even at that age are still sexually active. And honestly, as I get older, man, I hope I can still get it up at that point. Oh, shit. Man. Sophie. Email time before Kris does an entire show about dicks. All about dicks. Let's do an email. Exactly. Let's do an email. Nurgle bum. Butt. Nurgle butt or bum? Butt bum. Again, brings us all the way back to butt drugs. B-U-T-T drugs. Butt drugs. How many drugs can you take by butt? Can you take them all by butt? I wonder. Like, you know, can you to do crack as a suppository? It's already a solid, right? I don't know. Has anybody done it? I'd imagine, like, you know, like at least when you see it in, you know, in TV and stuff like that, crack always looks like a big chunk of salt. And so, I mean, you know, would you want to take that rock salt and shove it up your anus? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that would be a pleasant experience. But then again, people are sticking things in their bums all the time, so who can say, really? You know? I'd imagine you probably get any drug you want in a suppository, right? And realistically, like suppository types of, you know, medications and stuff like that, they get into your bloodstream pretty fast because the intestinal wall is just like, you know, it's a sponge, right? It just quickly absorbs whatever's in there. And yeah, that's why drinking alcohol when you do butt chug, that's why it's so dangerous, because it just goes right into the bloodstream, as opposed to, you know, going the normal route and it gets filtered through your liver and everything like that, right? There's a whole process. Like, that's why, you know, there's a whole process, and, you know, it's like driving the wrong way up a one-way street. Wait, what? Rezio, episode 290 is all about dicks. Saleswoman from hell, salted butthole. Right, like taking a piece of, like, okay, for anybody who still wants to give it a shot and see, maybe, I don't know, because maybe I'm completely off base here, but go get yourself some big rock salt, right? Like, you know, they salt the roads with. Get one of those big chunks and jam it up your poop hole, and, you know, let me know, because, you know, don't film it. You don't have to document it. Just let me know anecdotally your experiences with it. Benshun. Well, gotta go to bed to sleep, perchance to dream of dicks. Hey, man, you know, like, Benshun, whatever makes you happy. Dreaming about dicks. I was gonna go somewhere else. I was gonna say dreaming about all the dicks your mom took. You know, whatever, right? That's not an insult. That's not an insult. That's saying that, you know, your mother's an attractive woman, and, you know. I was trying to talk that up, but I couldn't. Ghost Star Alex, Quirk could probably tell you if crack was, if you crack up the ass works. Yeah, Quirk probably could. I should message him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I should message him. In fact, here, let's see. I'll do it right now. Do I still have him on my phone? I should still have him on my phone. Where is he? Or maybe I don't. Oh, you know what? No, because I haven't talked to him since past Christmas. It's been a while since I've talked to the dude. Okay, let's go to my contacts here. Hold on, folks. You know, for these kind of moments, I should probably do like a screen capture of my phone. No, because then you guys would see all my messages and all my lewd contacts and all the inappropriate things I say on the internet, on phones. Anyway. Do I still have Quirk in here? God, I need my freaking bifocals. There he is. Okay. Let's see here. Now, he's a real estate guy now. He's a real estate agent, so I'm going to send this text to him. What should I say? Can crack be administered? Administered rectally? Not rectangle. Is there 2 L's in rectally? I'll say asking for a friend. He's gonna be like, why the fuck are you asking me? There we go. Let's see if I get a response from that. Yeah, I hope he's in a meeting and like he's doing like a PowerPoint presentation and that message pops up. That would be the best. Oh shit. Hopefully I sent that to the right person, but anyway. Saleswoman from hell. Oh, we talking about butt chugging? Yeah, butt chugging, man. Butt chugging. G squared. I swear you said something about email. Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Holy shit. Yeah. We gotta get to an email. Saleswoman from hell. P sure those salts are corrosive. Stefan Henry, new episode title for science. Yeah, for science, yeah. Just everybody go get it, like anybody like okay, well anybody who lives in northern climates knows, you know, rock salt pretty goddamn big, right? And in you know, movies and such, they always show it as being, you know, like a big chunk of crystalline type of thing, right? I have no idea what actual crack cocaine looks like because I've never seen it. So, but anyway, could it be administered rectally? Is the question. I'm still waiting. I don't know. I might not have sent this to the right person. If his number's changed, or I'm hoping that he's in a meeting. And it's, you know, like a bunch of execs and stuff like that. And it's, you know, he's doing a PowerPoint and it's off his phone and then boom, that message pops up. Can crack be administered rectally? Fuck. Salesman bro, that was like the worst attempt at a compliment ever. I know, that's such shit. I know. Disflux. Imagine the first thing you hear from a coworker from years ago. Can you take crack up the arse? What's a legit concern? I'm curious. I want to know. These are the kind of questions that keep me up at night. Like, I'd imagine you can, but is it more of a high, or, you know, I don't know. What is a crack cocaine body buzz? Because usually you're smoking that shit, right? Or shooting it, I think. I don't know. Anyway. Like I said, this isn't a drug seminar, so. Raziel, chicken tendies, and I can't do it. Saleswoman from hell, all the dick pics that Kris receives. Oh, jeez. Frederick, dude. Tough? This is what I meant. Is that what you meant? Raziel, I'm more of a downer guy myself. A downer? As opposed to an upper? Alright, we're doing an email. Okay. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, but here it comes. Yeah, let's do a little bit of metal. Metal time! It's email time! This one is from our good buddy Sophie. Hey Kris and monkeys, here's a work in progress of a Necron Wraith I'm doing for a friend's birthday, which will be part of a Necron diorama. I've still to layer a bone color on the armor plates and gloss up the light red areas and add a bit of shading between the armor plates and highlight. What do you think so far? Your opinion is always valuable, Kris. Thank you, Sophie. And so this is a work in progress from Sophie. Let's go like that. There we go. So we're looking at a Necron. I like the color scheme. I like the bone. Dark metals. It's clean. I like the color in the I don't know, the grooves for, you know, the Necron glowiness, I imagine. I don't know. I don't know how far you're going to push highlight. I kind of like it in this solid orange state with maybe a little bit of highlighting. I would not push it up to a bright yellow or anything like that. I don't know. I would probably have to see it. I think with the armor plates themselves being that bone color, I think you don't have to push it too far, say, you know, with striation lines or anything like that. I think just edging would look really cool, or even broad layered highlights might be really cool. But I think what would be kind of fun, especially for the bone coloring, is if you did a little bit of weathering on the armor plates just to make them kind of chipped. Just a little bit here and there, long edges, you know, that kind of thing. You know, I really wouldn't go too over the top with it, or you can keep it kind of clean. I don't know. It's entirely up to you and how you imagine these Necrons. Right now, I think it's off to a really great start. I do enjoy the color scheme. Is there more pictures or just the one pick? It's just the one pick. And so, yeah, I dig it. I like it. Again, because this is a work in progress, I'm not sure how far you are going to push colors and like creating gradients and, you know, like, are you going for like a display type standard, or are you just going for a good high tabletop, or, you know what? But I look forward to this completed project. Hopefully you're a little further along, because I think you sent this, last week? Yeah, you sent this last week. And so hopefully you've gotten a little further along on this, seeing as how, you know, we seem to have a bit of time here. And yeah, I look forward to more. I can see a couple little points there where you kind of fell out of spots, and that's no biggie. You can always clean those up after. I think with the highlights and such, I would probably just go with a straightforward edging. And then, yeah, I would probably do a little bit of chipping with the sponge technique, if you're familiar with that technique for creating a little bit of wear and tear on the armor. But I do like the balance, though, of, you know, the brightness of the armor along with the mid-tone of the orange and then the dark of the silver. I like that. If you can mostly keep that vibe going, I think this will look really kick-ass. So thank you, Sophie, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And I look forward to more. I realize that that's kind of, it's not kind of, it is work in progress. And, you know, there is more to come, but I look forward to more. Please keep us in the loop. Sophie, just going to edge highlight and wash between the plates and a gloss with the orange red, and gloss the orange red color. Yeah, okay, yeah. Your edge highlighting, I would do like the broad edges of the armor plates, but like where the panels, you know, like where the little kind of orange, you know, glowy bits would be, I would probably do an edging of those. And with the orange glow, if you're going to do like a gloss, or if you're going to push any deeper color, push it towards the edges of the armor, right? So like, for example, here, let's go back to the picture here. Shoot, I left it. Where is it? There we go. So for example, like where the, on that second segment with the first generator orb in the middle of the spine, you know how like the lines seem to come out from under that panel line? At least that's the way it kind of looks. Let me have a closer look. Can I zoom in a bit? Oh, shit. Yeah, it looks like it comes in from the panel line. I would build that to be a deeper color. so that you have this imagined kind of indicated kind of glow to that surface. So it'd be deeper red up in those areas, and it builds to a brighter orange. And you can even imitate that on those orbs that are in the back. You can put like a deeper orange or deeper red just around that perimeter. Don't wash the entirety of that section. Just be very deliberate. I try and encourage a lot of people to try and be very deliberate in their application of using shade washes. Shade washes and such, can be very, very helpful, useful. But I try to encourage people not to rely on that to provide all their effects. Just because, it gets you into some lazy habits. It's kind of like, I imagine a couple years from now, with a lot of people who get started into miniature painting and who started in, say, contrast painting, and then, trying to do glazing and stuff like that, or not glazing. Glazing pretty easy with the contrast, but getting into wet blends, and wet blending is pretty easy. I was initially, we're still looking at contrast paints, and people are seeing the highs and lows of it. And one of the things that I kind of agreed with some people who were seeing the lows of it was that it would make lazy painters. But the shade washes can make lazy painters as well. But shade washes is still around, and it's still a very effective tool. I think just as you evolve as a painter, I think you just inherently will look, to other things and other techniques. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe it's just unwarranted, I guess, maybe. Maybe you should just relax. Maybe just chill the F out, maybe. Let's do another email. This one is from Sean. Kris, here's where all the magic happens. Sean T. P.S. Am I trustworthy? Did I do this? No, I didn't do this, right? So here is his work area. We were talking last week about messy work areas. Holy crap, look at all. It looks like he's got unopened boxes of magic cards. And he's got all sorts of pea bottles around. What are all the jars for? I see them on the left and right. What are all the big jars for? They got handles on them. What are those for, Sean? Ooh, and I see the back part of a scorpion, it looks like. Ooh, are you working on a scorpion type too? Jelly. I still need one. You see some Pro Acryl paints. I see Vallejo, AK, Citadel. I see some inks from FW. We got Liquitex inks. Oh, I see some golden paint back there. Nice. Vallejo. Game color. Model color. Probably air. Cool. I don't see any scale 75. You're missing scale 75. Or do you have scale 75? What's the other one? Oh, Reaper. You don't got any Reaper. Don't got any Army Painter. Do you got Army Painter? Oh, no, there's Reaper. I think that's Reaper. Or is that Vallejo labels? I can't tell. Oh, no, I think that's scale 75 back there, too. No, I think there's scale 75 there. Like it fucking matters, right? Paint's paint. But very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's orderly. It's a crowded workspace, but it's orderly, which is not bad, but it's definitely orderly. But yeah, what are those big freaking jars for, Sean? What are those big jars for? I'm curious now. You had my my interest. Now you have my curiosity. Where am I here? Sean here today? No, Sean's not here. Sophie, thanks. Peeps, enjoying doing the diorama. I'll email when closer to being done. Yeah, please just send pics whenever you get stuff done, Sophie. Just send pics. Reziel. Magic cards. Automatic loss of trust. Oh, come on now. I'm sure we all played Magic at one point. I never, actually. I've never played Magic. But I've played card games. I actually still have. Yeah, I still have. Here, hold on. I'll show you guys. And I'm pretty sure I've shown you guys this before. Oh, sitting on my back cushion here. I've probably shown you guys this before, but I still have my Warhammer Pandora Prime, Battle for Pandora Prime cards. And these, like, the game wasn't horrible. It wasn't terribly exciting either, but it wasn't horrible. But it was kind of like playing a tabletop version of 40K. And, you know, do I still have any of my fun cards? There were some good cards in here. But anyway, and it was you know, it was all right. But it was like playing an impression of the tabletop, of what you would get from the tabletop experience. And I mean, I already had a vast army for the tabletop, and so I was like, well, I've already got this. Like, why would I want to continue? I thought I had the avatar. It was a foil. Anyway. Yeah. Cards. I still have them. Why am I hanging on to them? Couldn't tell you. But yeah. Sabretooth Games. Is Sabretooth Games still around? I don't even know. But anywho. Yeah. So and I used to play Doom Trooper, which was from the Mutant Chronicles universe. I used to play that. And I spent a lot of money on that one. I had, like, you know, stack of cards. But this was before I had kids. So I had, you know, a job that, you know, paid all right. And so my money went to lots of hobbying. Rezia. I used to play it decades ago, then I evolved. Fire Trick 18, always stay hydrated when you're painting. Kudos. Yeah, as far as all those jugs, I don't know. But they look like they had handles on them. Sean T, please. What is with all those jugs? At first I assumed he was peeing into them, but I don't know if I can concentrate painting and then having all these pee jugs around me, but I don't know, maybe make them feel secure. I don't know. I've never tried it. I am open to new things. Not that I'm about to try it. Rezia, I still have my Fallen Empire set and the old Vampire Jihad, as well as Decipher Star Trek and Star Wars. Yes, I'm a bit old. Yeah, I still have one. It was a Star Trek dice game. I never got to play. I had a Borg. It came out around the same time as First Contact, the movie. And yeah, I don't know where those dice, where they all went. But they were still in the box and everything like that. And I picked them up. It looked interesting. I still have Star Trek Attack Wing. I've never gotten to play. Basically, it was just, you know, X-Wing, but Star Trek. But the scale didn't seem to work or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I got a bunch of shit. I should just get rid of a bunch of this stuff. Maybe I'm due for another purge. Ariel Sazinski, Sabretooth Games went under years ago. Oh, did they? Okay. I had no idea. Fire Trick 18, if they want to go back to, or bring back a card game, it's time to bring back Overpower. The MCU, I can't believe that IP hasn't been picked up. Overpower? Not familiar with that one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like the card games, I mean, I don't know. I'm not that huge into card games. I mean, like I went really big into Doom Trooper, and I was, you know, still on the tail end when I was getting into this, and yeah, I was like, no. To me, it just felt like a waste of money. Cards in general, I was not concerned about their values. They're just card. Whereas, you know, a miniature. You know, there's love there. It took you time to prepare the model, prime it, paint it, play with it, you know? There's something tangible to this little guy, right? And, you know, yeah, I don't know. But I guess realistically, I mean, there's no difference because it's just a thing, right? It's just what we perceive as valuable, I suppose, right? I guess. Reziel, I'm about to purge a bunch of toys. Planning to mail a bunch to that Toy Galaxy guy for fun. I watch Toy Galaxy. Yeah, he's pretty hilarious. Yeah. I can't imagine, because he often has in his backdrop, right? He's just got like a whack ton of action figures. And I can't imagine, it's got to be double that, what he doesn't display, right? I'd imagine, anyway. But yeah, Toy Galaxy, it's a fun one. I like watching that one. Fire Drake 18. Overpower is the card version of Crisis Protocol. Okay, I haven't played Crisis Protocol either. And I actually have, no interest in playing Crisis Protocol. The models look kind of cool, but I have no interest. Ghost Starman Deluxe. I have a lot of old Pokemon cards from when I was a kid, and I've been picking up some Yu-Gi-Oh cards lately, but I've never really played. Interesting. Mike Grimshaw, Final Fantasy. Is it Final Fantasy? Yeah, anyway. FFG is also doing a Marvel card game. Yeah. Well, I mean, they seem to have, the good properties to have, right? Star Wars and Marvel. Lots of room to wiggle. All right, let's do another email. This one is from Nathaniel. Greetings, Kris and fellow monkey. I recently finished the Finecast model, kept it quite close to the box art, but added some modifications as following box art is just copy pasta for me. Enjoy the images, CNC. Welcome as always. Until next time, salutations, Nathaniel. I don't know why I was doing the accent, but whatever. Very cool. Yeah, I kind of wanted this guy when he came out. I was like, oh man, yeah. It'd be kind of fun to just build a diorama around him as kind of intended. I don't know. Can you still get this guy? I imagine he's probably floating around somewhere. Looks really good. I like it. I even like the old school bolter you threw in there. I'm going to assume that bolter was from your collection and not included in the kit. Because that's an old bolter. Yeah. I wonder if this guy still exists. I might have to do a little search later on the Fleabay. On the Fleabay side of things. Because I have the other one. I still have the other one that came in the plastic one. He's from the Rogue Trader era. I still have that one. But very cool, Nathaniel. Thank you for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I like it. Do I have any comments or anything like that? I like it. No. I'm sure in person it looks really great. I think because of the sealant you used, it gives everything kind of a uniform glossiness. And so I think the ground, unless of course you wanted the ground to have that kind of wet sheen to it, I think the ground could have been hit with some matte. The banner itself could have been hit with some matte just to knock the shine out. You can just do that by hand or mask it off, whatever is preferable. I think, play with, the visual texture, as it were. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of, having glossy surfaces as well as matte surfaces. Yeah, that's about the only thing I would have to say. But otherwise, fine paint job. Nothing jumped out at me like, oh, well, you probably could have went this way. If you're following the box art, you're following the box art, right? So, really not a whole lot there. TH. Oh, I'm late. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, yeah. Another email. Because what time are we at here? Holy crumbly. Yeah, we got 18 minutes left of the show. So here we go. This is from our good buddy Scott. Oh shit, am I showing his email? I'm showing his freaking email too. Son of a bitch. There we go. Second email, not with pics. Don't love the non-metallic metal, but here it is. Hit it with the critical eye. Keep it real out back there in the Corona apocalypse. Keep it real out back there. Out back there? In the Corona apocalypse. Corona apocalypse? Is that what we're calling it now? The Corona apocalypse? I really like this guy. The non-metallic metal. On the green? Or on the shoulder and the helmet? Because the axe heads have a lot of corrosion on them. Yeah, I'm going to assume it is non-metallic metal on the shoulder plates, right? It looks fine. Nothing wrong with it. And see, it's kind of tough. Oh, excuse me. Freaking burping ones. It's kind of tough to wrap one's head around non-metallic metal, especially when talking about corrosion. Because how does a shiny metal look that is corroded? There's not a lot of examples of it. You would have to find examples of it, right? Let's have a look here. Oh, fuck sakes. But I get it. And it reads like a metal with, corrosion on it. It's a bit like the armor plates, like the green armor plates. It's kind of like that too. But I like it. It's a really good model. I like the paint job's really good. It's very subdued tones. But I like all the texture on it. It's really good, Scott. I mean, the non-metallic metal, yeah. Is that all we're talking about? Is the shoulder pad? Because the green doesn't really look like it's done in a non-metallic metal fashion, and the only thing that I could see that looked like non-metallic metal was like the helmet and that shoulder. But yeah, realistic. Well, not realistic. Fuck, I hate using that term, realistically. But like, as far as corrosion on armor, yeah, I think you'd have to really find some examples of it, right? I think you'd have to go out and look. The chat. Fire Dricatine, I don't know art, but I like this model. Yeah, no, it's really good. Resi, I'm not really seeing the non-metallic metal effect, but yeah, I like the paint job regardless. Yeah, I like the paint job regardless. Is it bronze? It looks like it might be. Is it bronze? I don't know. It looks like a dark metal. Yeah, it looks a bit more like a bronze. But the way the highlighting is, and then of course he has the corrosion, I think you'd have to look at examples of what would you look for here? I'm just gonna do a quick Google search. Yeah, like aged shiny metal, right? That doesn't even make sense. Aged shiny metal. Okay, I guess, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm seeing, like, for example, galvanized. Like buckets. And I'm seeing, like, some corrosion, but you lose, like, the armor that he did for the green. That's how I'd imagine, like, if you were doing, like, any kind of other colors, like gold or bronze or copper, that they wouldn't really have a shininess to them. Because if that corrosion is coming across, then the metal is going to be very matte looking. And, yeah. Because an object, like, for example, here, let's see. Oh, I clicked the freaking thing. Oh, okay, it's on Pinterest. Whatever. Screw it. Like, how I imagine these kind of things being like this bucket here on the left, right? Like you can't tell, like you can kind of tell, but see how like you can still see something like a highlight in the inside of the bucket in the far upper left. But you see on the bucket on the right, you can see it has very stark highlights, right? And so if you were to imitate non-metallic metal, that's what you're going to create, right? And typically non-metallic metal in that form typically is done like the right-hand side of that bucket versus, actually, wait, let's go. Can we do this window? Oh, yeah, there we go. I could have just did that one. Versus the bucket on the left. There's like very little indications of those highlights, but you can see, like if you look to the middle of the left bucket, you can still see some bright points, right? Kind of like mirroring what that other bucket is doing, where the bright light is coming from. And so you can kind of indicate those, but realistically it's creating that fake texture, and it is really about how much light and dark you're using. It also is an opportunity, like you see like the interior of the bucket, like where the opening is of the bucket, the one on the left, you see how there's a more blue cast where it's reflecting a bit of the shadow and you can see more of the sky, whereas the bright point is really where the sun is reflecting off ambient objects, right? And so that's the kind of thing you want to replicate when creating a non-metallic metal look. And that's one of the things that I often talk about when we're replicating non-metallic metal, is that oftentimes we're not showing the ambient environment in the non-metallic metal. It's just a illustrative. It's just like how, like, for example, like here, like let's go with 80s metal logo. Okay, 80s metal logo, or logos, whatever. Fuck. Oh yeah, here's a good example right here. Vulture. And yeah, here, let me see. Let's go back to the window. Let's Google search this thing. Right? That is the kind of non-metallic metal that is painted on miniatures. That's more of what would be called Sky Earth, or SENMM, right? But that's what we're painting on miniatures. And so when people are losing their shit about non-metallic metals, this is the kind of thing they're talking about. And this is like an illustrated comic booky style of, it's not real. It gives you the impression that you're looking at a reflective surface, but it's not true. Whereas using an actual metallic paint would give you an actual ambient look. But there are examples of miniatures that, have an appropriate style done to them, right? I mean, it's, for giggles. I mean, you can do this kind of stuff. I'm not saying don't do it, but, that's really what you're imitating when you see somebody painting often non-metallic metal on a miniature. That's often what they're doing, is they're just going for that type of non-metallic metal. It's just an illustrated comic booky, whatever you want to call it, kind of style. It's not real. Now, I have seen some examples from some really great painters out there who have done non-metallic metal and painted it so that you get the impression of the ambience, but really realistically, to really sell that's what you're looking at, there should the base and the diorama really should reflect that, or elements within the model, like for example, if the shoulder pads and his chest armor is shiny and he's wearing a robe, you would see that color mirrored on the armor, or it would get reflected and you would see that slight reflection on the armor, right? What is that called, where you get that ambient light and it's bouncing around on a surface? Oh, I can't think of the term. You get that ambient light bouncing. Like, for example, okay, you're looking at skin tone, right? But then you put a red object close by and you start to see, right? I can't even see myself. Am I demonstrating this properly? not quite, because the light is coming this way. So the light would actually have to... no. But you get what I'm saying, right? Something to cast a red or colored reflection. But I guess if I had it more on the neck... No, it's not bright enough. But you get what I mean. It's an ambient reflection. I can't remember what the hell that's called. Reziel, on bronze, I either usually see patina or verdigris. Patina and verdigris are the same thing. Sometimes it tarnishes dull and brackish. Yeah. Oh, it's all metallic tarnish, right? Patina is typically like referring to the oxidization. Verdigris is, well, it's just verdigris is green. It's just the greening on bronze and coppers, right? But patina, it can refer to like brass. Brass, you see, gets really kind of black. We don't really consider patina on metals like iron. We just call it rust. But it's the same thing, Everything tarnishes, though. Really, I guess, is really what the overall effect we're looking for is the tarnishing. Because, realistically, because we have so much oxygen in our air at whatever concentration it's at, oxygen is corrosive and it eats metal, right? So metal all the time is being eaten by oxygen. It's a fact of nature. And so everything oxidizes. Hell, that's why we call it oxidize. Because it's oxygen. It's being changed. G squared episode 290. There's a hole in the bucket. Reziel, look up GW stock photo of Sanguinor, good non-metallic metal example. Yeah, of that kind of non-metallic metal, but it's not a realistic non-metallic metal. It's an illustrated type of non-metallic metal. It's like that. Were you not just watching what I was just showing? It's an illustrated form. It's not real. Another email from our good buddy Koma. Hello, oh Monkey King. It is now 2 weeks since the last email, even though it's probably just 1 week since you read it. But here are some stuff I have finished of since then, and I put in some better pics of Ogoroid, Myrmidon. Hope you and the monkeys enjoy. Best of regards, Keoma. Oh, what the frick? Oh, what the frick? Yes, reload. Oh, my lord. What is going on here? Okay. Something's dicking with me here. Why am I being dicked with? I don't know. Nope, that's the wrong one. I could not tell you. Where's Coma's email? There it is. I wonder why it would boot me out like that. Anyway. Here we go. I like this Chaos Warrior. Nice and bright. I like the glowing runes. The scales. I like that blue of the scales. Huh. Lord of Plagues. Paint him. Nice drippy blood. A little eyeball in his belly. Very cool. Skinny dude with wearing knickers. I like the leaves. I like the base. I like the texture. Yeah, that one's really fun. That's what a Kingdom Death model, isn't it? I do believe so. It's really cool. I like it. Yeah, it's got to be Kingdom Death because this looks like a Kingdom Death model. I like the work on the tail. I like that gradient in color. I like this guy. He's pretty cool. I like the detail. Nice attention to the detail. Very, very cool. Yeah, I like the eyeball in the belly. That's funny. I like the scales on these. Nice highlighting. Yeah. Very cool. Well, thank you, Kilma, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I look forward to more. Another email. This one is from our good buddy Roman Matanov. Hey, Kris. Just finished converting my truer scale Night Lord, so I thought I'd share. Should be enough in there to keep me busy during the lockdown. As always, CNC welcome. Stay healthy and keep being awesome. Cheers. Roman. And so here's what is on his to-do list. Looks like some Spas Marines. Or what did you say? Night Lords? Oh. Are those Gaunt Wings or are those the Scourge Wings? And they look like 3D printed bits. Very cool. I'm curious. Yeah, is that what it is as Night Lords? You do have a lot on your plate right now. But don't rush through them. Take your time. Enjoy them. Yeah, these look like 3D printed parts. Dude, you got a 3D printer? Dude. Very cool. I like the backpacks on the guys with the big weapons. He's fun. I like the little hand symbol on their belly. He's like, come at me, bro. Well, very, very cool. That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Ruben, for sharing that with us. Was that it? That was it. Man, you got some work ahead of you, buddy. Buddy pal. Any comments? Ruben Matt, no. Oh, there you are. They're Goyle. They're Goyle wings. They're gargoyle wings, and yeah, plenty of 3D printed bits. Yeah, cool. Very cool, dude. Awesome. Yeah, keep us up to date. Hopefully you get lots done. Hopefully, you kind of stay a little focused. Fire Dricadine, I need a 3D printer. Yeah, you need a 3D printer. We all need a 3D printer. We all need. I'm seriously considering picking one up. Seriously, like that serious. I'm stroking my chin hair. Serious as coronavirus. Serious, you know. Another email. This is from our good buddy Legion. Hi, Kris and Monkeys. Due to certain worldwide events, I had the time to do a lot of miscellaneous Dark Eldar related stuff. Please don't kink shame me. What? The first thing was to repaint the symbols on my first Venom, but when I originally painted the model, I thought that doing thicker freehands would make sense on a bigger model, but no, just no. It looked odd and out of place with the rest of the army. The second thing was to rebase my army command. The feet of the Archon and the succubus in the middle reached over 25mm base, and that looked extremely infuriating. So I put them on 32mm bases. Fun fact, when I snapped the succubus on her base, she roughly fell 2 centimeters on my table. Thankfully, she is Finecast model, so that only broke everything. She Finecast, so she entirely shattered. Awesome. My table looked like a resin jigsaw puzzle. The iridescent hatred I have for this material stability could light a forge world. Jeez, it's quite a claim. The last thing was to paint a bunch of Cabalites. 2 are done, 8 more only needed some highlights. Stay safe and best regards from Germany. Legion Miniatures. And I read that on On I keep up on the Twitters, and I read that Buddy from Rammstein, the lead singer, he has the corona, and I was deeply saddened. He's in intensive care in Germany. I was like, no. Anyway, yeah, I really like the Venoms. Yeah, thinner lines look cooler rather than the thicker lines. I do agree. I mean, you can easily correct that, I think, right? Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I like the weathering you did on the front. I like the leading edge. Yeah, I like that stuff. That's cool. Some more Cabal lights. I like the color scheme, dude. It's just fun. I think the eyeballs, if you could bring the eyeballs up a little bit, I think it'd be cool. Just like a little bit of a brighter color. Not so much like an OSL. Don't worry about that. I think just a little bit brighter color. Like Emperor's Children kind of pink, you know what I mean? Like that bright color. Very, very cool. I like the I don't know what the character is called on the far left from Hero Quest, but very, very cool. I like the Succubus model too. The Succubus models kick ass. Same with the new Lilith. Lilith is really kick ass. Oh, was that it? I like the highlighting on the blade there, on the Archon's blade. I like that green tones, but then the shadows, it goes into a rapid kind of blue purple. I don't know if that's a trick of the photography or if that... No, it looks like blue or purple highlights on the handle, closer to the handle. Very cool. I like that. I like it a lot. Sorry, I'm still admiring them. I'm still admiring them. Oh, shit. Meant that. There we go. Thank you, Legion, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And yeah, hopefully we get like a full army view at some point, because that'd be cool. Fire Jerky, everyone has a kink. Kink? Yeah. I think I slept wrong because I got kind of kink in my neck. But anyway, I don't think that was the kink he's talking about. Fire Drake 18, yeah, nice and clean, nice color selection. Yeah, I like the colors. I mean, we've been looking at Legion's Dark Eldar for a while, and yeah, I really like them. You know who's somebody? I mean, I don't know if he still watches or tunes in, but was Johnny Wraith. I really enjoyed his Eldar scheme. That was really cool. And yeah, I haven't heard from Johnny Wraith in a long time. Wonder how he's doing. Probably self-isolating, I'd imagine. Everybody is. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Anyone know how Tom Hanks and his wife are doing? They tested positive quite early on, if I recall. I don't know. I have no idea how Tom Hanks is. Yeah. I mean, oh, and Idris Elba. Idris Elba tested positive. I was like, no, not Idris. Legion. Yes, the Archon sword does go from the purple to green yellow. Yeah, I really like that. That's a nice touch. I didn't catch... At least I don't think I caught it the first time we saw that model, because I'm pretty sure we've seen that model before. And, yeah, I didn't catch that the first time. Must have been the way it was shown this time, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah. Or did you do it, like, afterwards? I don't know. What'd you do? Who? Who's doing what now? Who's on the what now? What time? Holy cramoles, we're past 2 already. Well, I just got these emails like an hour ago. Do I really feel like doing emails that I just got? Well, it's, you know what, we probably can quickly move through these. Just breeze right through. I'll just click through the pictures real fast. Here's his. You know? Oh, let's do the emails. This one is from Derek Wilson. Hello, Kris. Sorry, I was trying to find the handle, but I couldn't find it because I just realized I gave out his full name. But anyway, hello, Kris and monkeys. Just some Gellerpox infected I've been working on just to show you I haven't been slacking. I envision them being a little different from Nurgle guys and gave them more of a girlish look to my liking. Any suggestions is always welcome. Thanks in advance. And so let's have a look. And so he wants them to have more of a... Ooh. I like that. Different from Nurgle. Yeah. They almost feel like they could belong within Tzeentch or even Slaanesh. Really. I like the purple metallic. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I think like on the axe and the chainsaw blades and the hook, I think just to get a little bit more silver on the edges, just, you know, nice little, just a bit of edging, just a bit, or on the cutting edges. I think the flesh, whatever the last highlight was, whatever color you used, I would add a little bit of like Ushabti bone or Screaming Skull. Just a little bit, probably like a 3-to-1, 3 of this blue color to the 1 of the light bone color. Add that and just do a very minimal highlight on points, like on the knuckles, you know, on the bicep, you know, anywhere where, you know, you put a fine highlight, right? Tip of the toes, that kind of thing, top of the knee. You know what I mean? Like anywhere where you'd apply that fine highlight. And I would do just a little bit of highlight like that. I like that green on Buddy's vest on the left. That's really cool. I like it's got like kind of like orangey browns going on with that green. I like that. I dig it. These are really fun. Yeah, I think like the bulbousness, like on Buddy on the far left, like the, you know, the kind of the big tumor on his arm, it looks like. I would probably bring that up to a bit brighter pink or almost like a light flesh tone. You know what I mean? Same with Buddy on the far right's belly, getting a little bit more closer to flesh tones, and you know what I mean? Just you can still keep that blue, but add just a hint of flesh. I don't know. It all depends, I guess, on how far and how much you want to work on these guys. I mean, if you're happy with where they're at, then by all means, keep them as is and move on to the next group. But if you were looking to go just a bit further, I dig it. I like the blue skin. I like the purple and the green. It's a fun color combination. Really, the color that stands out is the light blue. I kind of like it how you have it on the middle guy, though. Yeah. The lighter blue, like actually Buddy on the far right there. I like how he transitions from that lighter color at the belly going up to a darker color. I like that too. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of curious as to what was your inspiration for this color scheme. Were you just thinking of colors and just said, "Yeah, screw it, I'm just going to do these colors and have some fun"? In which case, you know, bravo. If there was an inspiration as far as what was the basis for this color scheme, I definitely would like to know, because that's a lot of fun. And that definitely, you know, separates them from feeling like the rest of the Nurgle stuff, right? So, you know, again, bravo. Scott, tried for copper on the shoulder, the green is just paint. Right, but I don't know if you caught my whole thing, what I was talking about as far as like non-metallic metals. Go back a few moments if you missed that, Scott, on what I was talking about. Like, because like if you're going for non-metallic metal on a Nurgle model and you have so much corrosion and stuff like that going on, would that metal surface still have those the reflective quality that is typically indicative of doing non-metallic metals, right? And so, you know, to see the idea forward, I think you have to look at real world examples of what metals look like when they typically are shiny but have become corroded or oxidized, or, you know, whatever terminology we want to use. I'd imagine that actually corroded and oxidized are probably two different things, because, I don't know, corrosion indicates something's corrosive to the surface as opposed to oxygenating, which is, I don't know, is it a corrosion? Would that be erosion? I don't know. But either way. Ebb and Flow, Kris. Last word I saw on the singer from Rammstein is that he doesn't have, but in the hospital nonetheless. Yeah, see, I'd heard that he was in intensive care because of the COVID. That's what I saw last night. I don't know. That was the last I heard of it. It's not like I was sitting by my phone waiting to get updates on it, so I have no idea. Fire Jig 18. The color scheme was from a picture of a nebula. Interesting. I have a folder of cool pictures on the internet to use as color schemes. I will definitely use your suggestions. Thanks. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I again, I think that's the right way to go, Fire Drake, or Derek, whatever. Um, and what Fire Drake is doing, definitely, people should consider when you're perusing the internet and you see a picture and you just are fascinated by the color. It could be a photograph of somebody playing in a field, or walking down the street, or what I mean, or maybe it's an advertisement, or it's a logo, or whatever. Whenever you see color combinations and you think that's really nice, like it speaks to you at some sort of level that you just don't quite understand, save the picture, and then see how you can implement that into a paint scheme for Space Marines or whatever, right? Or Gellerpox, apparently, So yeah, I think that's a really great idea, and that's something that I would strongly would suggest a lot of people, attempt and try yourself. Especially if you are the kind of individual who enjoys making up your own color schemes, definitely, give that a shot. Okay, we got two more emails to quickly go through here. Well, not quickly, but to go through. We're only 15 minutes after. Last couple times there, I've gone over like 3 hours, so, not too worried. Hey, Kris, Richard, a.k.a. the voice of the Emperor. I said that I would start sending some new stuff in, so as promised, my new project, Slaves to Darkness, Warriors of Chaos, still a work in progress. Notice some cleanup I need to do with taking photos, but I'm trying to take on your input and not relying on washes to do my shading too much. The cloak is done with inks, trying to blend them together to get the shading I want. Awesome. Post more as I get them done. I hope you and the family are well, and all the monkeys too. So here is some chaos. Just go here. There we go. So here's some chaos. Nice clean metals. Straightforward. Very cool. Nice. Yes, I can see what you're doing. I think... now, I'm not sure if you're just thinning the color down and you're glazing these shadows in, or if you're thinning your shade wash down and, kind of using it like a glaze and glazing the color in. The key thing to remember is to let the previous layer dry before applying your next layer. Okay? That's a big thing if you're going to glaze these in. If you are wet blending, then, which I don't see here, this does not look like a wet blend. I mean, this looks more like you're glazing with the shade wash or a deeper color. Either way, awesome. I fully encourage it, and, way to go. Very, very cool. Ooh, careful. I see a little bit of silver on the cloak. Be careful. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Do not be in a rush. I think too, like when you are working, like, okay, if you do have to work on a bunch of these guys and get them all done, in some sort of timely fashion, I definitely would recommend things that you're going to dry brush or do an overbrush or whatever. Definitely start on those earlier in the painting phase. So like what you're doing here, it looks like you got your metals down first, then you're working on to, your opaque colors and, yeah. Oh, there's a finished guy. Nice. Yeah, definitely. Like on this picture here, the cloak definitely reads really well. I think you can go a little bit lighter on the shadows, and in fact, you could actually highlight the red. I know you're probably really big fan of that tone of red. You can come up with, say, adding just a hair of yellow or even orange. Do a little bit of highlighting I would probably go from the bottom upwards. And then you can come in with a red glaze and reglaze those tones in. Just to bring a bit more definition in. Just a bit. But very, very cool. Thank you for sending that in, Richard, or Voice of the Emperor. Thank you for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And, this last one's going to be a fast one. So, one last email. This one is from our good buddy Scott. And since we were talking about Workspaces, you know what? Feel free to send a picture of your workspace. Don't be ashamed of what your workspace looks like. I know some people sit there with a paint station on their lap, or they have a big elaborate setup. It's not a competition. Just sharing, your environment. Just kind of giving us all an idea on, on your ecosystem. So Scott says, thought I'd share. And so this is his work area. And this is kind of what I imagined. It looks like he's in his basement. He's got artwork from his kids. Very, very good. Got 2 lamps on the go for more light. I highly recommend that for anybody out there. 2 lamps is actually pretty good, because if you can have them flank your work area on however you work, that is good for your eyes. You should always work under at least the brightest light source you possibly can, because it will not strain your eyes. And so, having 2 lamps is a plus. And that's something we often overlook is our lighting situation. We often, forget about that how important that really is. You can't paint if you can't see, right? Doesn't matter what color paints you have, what brand of paints, what brushes you have, what models you're buying, whatever. If you cannot see what you're painting, your paint job is going to suffer. And so it is. Take the lesson from Scott here. Have more light. Have lots of light. But yeah, this fucking looks like my work area, actually. Tostitos, good man. Lots of salsa. What are these little... Oh, those are scale 75 colors? Yeah, those are the scale 75 colors. Very, very cool. Yeah, I used to carry around my my paints in a blue Tupperware thing like that too. That's funny. Yeah, I used to have one of those blue Tupperwares. And he's got all his paints in cases still. Yeah. I'm still looking at your work area. But very, very cool. Awesome stuff, Scott. Thank you for sharing. And again, for everybody else out there, please feel free to share your work surfaces. I'm curious, Just share. Just feel free to share. It's all we're here for, right? Finlay Robinson. Hey, Kris. Hey. Do you have a favorite type of dry brush, Kris? A favorite type of dry brush? I just use Citadel. I just use the Citadel dry brush. When a paintbrush gets regulated, falls to the duty of doing dry brushing, preferably be an older brush, because you're just going to beat the crap out of it. Don't use your good precision brushes, the brushes that come to a nice fine point. Don't use any of those brushes to ever do any dry brushing, because to do proper dry brushing, you kind of beat up your brush. And so don't do it. Now, I have not used, like makeup brushes. I actually was perusing Amazon the other day, and I saw it was just happened to come up makeup brushes. Oh, it was the deal of the day kind of stuff, Amazon's deal of the day, and it was a makeup brush set for like $13 for various makeup brushes, and I was like, maybe give them a shot, because it's something I've been curious about. And I saw a model somebody had painted a while back. They had used like the makeup, like the eyeshadow. You know how it comes in those little solid colors, and you use the brush and then you apply it onto a model. I'd seen it on a Zinch model, and it was like glittery, rainbowy type of solid makeup, and they applied it to the surface of the model, and that looked fantastic. And they just did it like in a dry brushing fashion, and it looked amazing. Yeah, so again, you're not limited by the tools you have. You're only limited by your imagination. Doesn't matter what paints you use, what brushes you have. Those things don't matter. All that matters is your will to do a good looking paint job on your miniature, and getting creative, looking for a way to, put pigment onto a surface. And that's all painting is pigment on surface. That's it. It's all it is. Doesn't matter what the binder is on those pigments, be it acrylic, oil, whatever. It's still all just putting pigment on a surface. Finlay. Also, I agree, add a touch of yellow to the highlight to the red. Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. Sir Peanut Butter. Wait, Till's in the hospital? Yeah, Till's in the hospital. I saw it last night on Twitter. Yeah, apparently it was, he has the corona, and he's in the ICU in Germany, apparently. But Evan Flo's letting me know that apparently he doesn't have corona, so whatever. Finlay. Yeah, I have a makeup brush. I've not really tried it, but I hear good things. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I know Artist Opus, they released a dry brush set, which is similar to a makeup brush set, which, you know, is good. I mean, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it, you know. Like the kind of brushes you use, you know, be it makeup brushes or, you know, whatever. It's not that big a deal. It's all in how you apply pigment to that surface, right? And, you know, you can sit there and use your finger and apply the paint. But I mean, like, somebody who gets used to it and you know, and does it all the time, I'm sure they'd probably work out a really great way to quickly do a model and wipe the paint off, where a series of laying colors and layers and laying and pulling them off and creating like a feathered look. I mean, like, I don't know if anybody's ever done it. I'm not about to do it, but, you know, I'm sure somebody out there is playing with something like that. Just either out of brushes, but they have the colors and they just, right? I'd imagine you probably paint pretty quickly just doing that in big broad strokes like that. Anyway, Fire Jerk 18, I just purchased a D Artisan Micro Miniature Paintbrush. I can't wait to try them. They're supposed to be Klonsky Sable brushes. Sure. I'm not familiar with D Artisan Micro Miniature Paintbrushes. Again, there's lots of paintbrushes. I mean, like, it's been recommended to me many times to try Raphael 8404s. I have not gotten around to trying those out yet. Da Vinci's. I've not tried those. They're on my list. They're actually on my Amazon wish list. I just haven't bothered picking them up yet. Just, you know, resources, man. I'm not made of money. I'm not made of money, man. Wait. No, I'm not made of money. G squared. Yes, thank you. I completely forgot about titling the show. We were so caught up in the emails and just, you know, actually staying somewhat on topic today. Can we believe it? And I actually got all the emails done. I'm not reading anybody's email. If you send it in right now, I'm not reading it. Rude, I know. Somebody's like, Kris, but I just sent you an email. You freaking jerk. Yeah, I'm not reading it though. So you can forget it. You can forget it. Put that in your pipe. Yes, so thank you to Scott, Richard, Derek, Legion, Rumen, Coma, Scott again, Marcus, Sean, and Sophie. Sorry, I'm clicking through because I always save the emails. I always have them in a little folder, and so I always just move them over to folders. It's just me being anal. And again, we seem to come right back to the whole anal aspect of the show, because we started off with butt drugs, right? And we're going to end on being anal. If you're brand new to this hobby, you need a little bit of help with your color scheme, or maybe it's a particular technique or terminologies or whatever. You just, you know, I realize that there are people at varying levels in this hobby, brand new to veterans, but sometimes we get stuck. Maybe we're just looking for a bit of inspiration. Feel free to share whatever it is you need help with or want to just show off what you're working on. Send it to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all the silliness, has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. Discord's been fantastic. We keep the conversation rolling there all the time. It's just a lot of fun. Everybody's really cool there, and I have not had to discipline a monkey in a long time, thankfully, knock on wood. And I also have some good moderators, Grim and Twitchy. They're just both great guys as well. I probably should work in thanking them every once in a while, right? Twitchy and grim. Anywho, so wayofthebrush.com has all those links, as well as links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur that is that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt, and it's guaranteed to keep you isolated. I should have at the bottom, not actual guarantee. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, wayofthebrush.com has a link for Patreon support. I'm independent now. This is what I do. If you want to help the channel, help it grow, help it succeed, and of course, help me to continue to further educate, inspire, and keep people informed, maybe even just entertained. I don't know. Kind of a clown, really. You can support by Patreon. Now, I have varying tiers of support, so if you're considering Patreon support, a huge thank you, and a huge thank you to everybody who currently supports. Again, without you guys, this stuff just wouldn't be possible. And if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, you can support the channel and helping me out a great deal by thumbing up the video, liking, following, commenting, subscribing, ringing the bell, and sharing the video. All those things help me tremendously, and all it takes is a couple clicks of the button, and you're helping me out greatly. Also, a big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Alfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always say thank you to Carl for taking time out of his busy day to create the email jingle that plays before the email segment of the show, or segments. There's always much love for Carl. And speaking of love, much love to my baby brother, Evan, for creating the intro and outro music that plays during the show. And he's done it for many years. A thankless task. And I've only recently gotten into the habit of thanking him. So a big thank you to my little baby brother. He's not little. He's bigger than me, but he's a big dude. That's okay, though. I can still take him. If he's watching, I'm joking. Is that it? I think that's it. Any other last questions, comments? Finlay, I almost never dry brush. Almost never? Really? There's nothing wrong with dry brushing. It's just a technique. It's just a brush technique. It has its uses. It's not, it's not used every time for every effect. But, I often just like to do one dry brush layer. I find that, especially with airbrushing up tones and stuff like that, do a thin shade wash just to fall within recess, redefine, resaturate color, and then a quick dry brush. And yeah, I find that looks really, really cool. Especially when you're airbrushing, just create a quick gradient through the predominant color. A shade wash just to get into recesses, resaturate some of the color possibly, just thinned out, not a full, shade wash or whatever, or, whatever color, using contrast, whatever the color may be. And then, of course, taking the highlight color, and a light dry brush just to catch just some of the edges, just like that, and yeah, being done. Very, very light. Dry brushing is a very, very subtle technique. And the subtler you get, is that a word? And, the better it looks. The trick of it is to make sure that you're using a very, very light hand. Again, it's a technique of subtlety. Finlay Robertson. The Raphael 8404s are very good. Cool. Yeah, I've never used them. I've heard good things about them. I've never used them though. Fire Drake 18. If you're over 40, make sure you get a colonoscopy. Stay healthy, my friends. That's right. Make sure you get somebody to take a look up there. Take a look up your poop chute. And, make sure all your plumbing's working. Good advice, Fire Drake. Good advice. Mike Grimshaw. See you next week, folks, when Kris will continue to excite us by talking about edging and taking things to the base. What? When we're edging, we're talking about edging and the rim. We're talking about rims and edges, right? I was going to try and go somewhere with that, but no. Fire 18. Remember thin strokes from tip to the base. I want you to grab the base with your index and your forefinger and gently run it to the tip. I haven't watched Family Guy in forever, and I've been watching clips on YouTube of Family Guy. Oh man, too funny. Too funny. Finlay Robinson. You are doing something really great here, Kris. Positive and constructive feedback is one of the most important things for a painter to grow. I concur. And I'm sure, I often personally, I don't really, ask people's input. I just kind of show off what I'm working on. People can feel free to, say, well, Kris, you could have did this. And yes, you're right. You could have done this. I find, though, with people who are newer to this hobby or have not really in the past taken it too seriously, but really all of a sudden want to kind of start pushing a little bit further, the feedback is important, personally, I'm trying to push myself forward all the time, and really, I think it's just, I'm always looking for how I can become more efficient, and that regard, my application of color. Again, this show is called Way of the Brush. That's probably not really explained, right? Because, see, I'm a bit of a minimalist, and like a samurai, in a duel, I'm more interested in the efficiency of stroke, the proper maneuver, you know what I mean? It's those kind of concepts that excite me. And I've talked about this in the past recently, I think, about painting a model in the fewest amount of brush strokes, but going for a completed look. Can it be done? I'm sure it can. Have I played around with it at all? Not really. But I imagine all my efforts are culminating to that end result. I would imagine. But, yeah. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Remember, never forget to lube up your tip, or it could get crusty and nothing will come out. Ugh. Ugh. I meant airbrushes. What do you think I was talking about? Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, you got to make sure you don't have too much barnacles on the ends there. You got to watch out for the barnacles. Oh, Aaron, I got your email. We'll display it next week. Oh. Yeah, see, that picture looks too clean, dude. Looks too orderly. But, I'm sure that's probably between paint sessions. So I'm sure unless that's what it looks like today. Oh, no, it looks like I'm on the picture. Sorry. I'm Spoiler. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next week. Unless, of course, I get the COVID. Then I won't see you. That's fucking grim. All right, now that the suckers have cleared out, the thing we don't talk about. Sunday stream? I don't know about a Sunday stream. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. We'll see. It all depends. It all depends what kind of plans I have. Because usually, Sunday is my day to relax. And I usually end up, puttering around on other projects and stuff like that. And so I don't know. Because like I said, I usually try and have at least one day that I just, take off. And Sunday usually falls to be that day. Sometimes it's Mondays. But usually I try and take at least a day off. Just, from working on stuff. Now, it's kind of hard because I'm surrounded by my work all over the place. And it's so easy for me to all of a sudden say, oh, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood to work on a project. And I'll come downstairs and I'll, work on something. Or maybe, do something or whatever. But, yeah, I try and take a day off. Because otherwise, what's the point, right? If I'm just constantly 7 days a week, working on projects, I'll burn myself out. And I've been mostly working under this premise since I've, been independent now and doing this kind of stuff that, try and do it. And fall asleep. 24-hour stream, just me. Alrighty, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I got nothing else to add. Just go paint something. Get some projects done. Maybe do some chores around the house. Maybe get the laundry done. Play with your cat, dog, goldfish. Can you play with goldfish? Do people play with their goldfish? Can you play with the goldfish? I don't know. We used to have, my kids got one time those little betta fish. Those were fun because you put the mirror up and the betta fish would flare his fins out and everything like that. That was really cool. I used to like that stuff. Oh man, Logan. Thanks, Kris. No problem. Take off, eh? Okay. Yeah. Oh, you hoser. Yeah. It's time to go. Do something else. As soon as I clicked the screen to go off and start the outro, I ran to the washroom because I had to go. I've had to go sit for last half hour, 40 minutes, and come back, and first thing I always check is make sure that my mic is off because I kind of left really fast, and it made sound one time. Apparently everybody could hear me going to the washroom, so it always makes me think of that episode of the movie Naked Gun. He does the press conference. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here, guys. Go do something productive. I know it's tough right now. Everybody's, stuck indoors, and it's a really fucking weird time we're in right now. The curious thing, though, is what does the world look like come midsummer, months from now? The hippy dippies on this planet would like to see real social change. Others see a lot of doom and gloom, markets crashing, businesses falling apart, and, all these kind of chaotic, apocalyptic type things. I think there'll be something in the middle. Definitely going to be different. The world's going to be different 6 months, a year from now. It's going to be a different world. This is, an unprecedented time where, everybody is so isolated, and yet we've never been more connected. Really, think about that for a moment. The I don't want to say paradox, but we're all isolated. We're all, supposed to be, just in our own little bubbles. Well, we have been. Metaphorically, now physically we are. And yet we've never been more connected, and yet so disconnected. So where does the world go? Where does the world go from here? Yeah, sure. You get the hippies out there saying, "Oh, it's going to be all flowers and sunshine." I don't know. You get doom and gloom, apocalypse. Maybe, I don't know. I like to think something in the middle. Something in the middle that we're not all quite seeing yet seems to be the most logical thing, which is usually the case. But introducing this kind of silly thing as a new social norm, why not? Let's do it. Let's just start greeting people like that. You know? Instead of handshaking. Handshaking is such a funny thing anyway. You know, it's an antiquated greeting. You know, because there's many cultures on this planet that, you know, don't shake hands as a greeting to say hello to another. You know, just a bow. You know, hi, a wave, right? And something about the handshake, it always seemed to be linked to masculinity, right? Good firm handshake. Good firm handshake. Real man. You know? There's not much wrong with that. I mean, some might associate that with, you know, toxic masculinity, whatever the hell that is. But I don't know. I mean, me personally, you know, I've grown up mostly in a warrior-like upbringing. And a good firm handshake is appropriate. It's a display of strength. I mean, it's important amongst, you know, warriors. Now, I realize not everybody's raised in such a fashion, and, you know, but, you know, the only difference being is that, you know, those who aren't of that particular ilk, that, you know, you don't look down upon them. But I mean, you know, everybody's on equal footing in regards, right? Some people are like that way, some people aren't. You just accept it, right? You just, you know. And I think that's where a lot of these things lie, where a lot of these problems lies. You know, everybody feels like, you know, well, they don't agree with me, or they don't do things like I do, so they must be wrong. No, they're not wrong. Let them be. They're people, right? Just let people live. I think once everybody kind of gets their nose out of other people's shit, you know, I think the world will be a lot better. And something like this where everybody's forced indoors. You're not in your neighbor's shit, right? You got to deal with your own shit. And I think that's what's more important, really. Jabba's left nut. It'll be different for about 10 minutes, and then everyone will return to being selfish asshats. Yeah, probably. Probably. You're probably right. I like to think, you know, again, I always see these things within society, you know, it's like a pendulum, you know. It swings heavy one way, but it always returns back, and it'll swing back another way. But just like a pendulum, as it swings to either end, it loses momentum each time it swings a certain direction, and eventually it settles in the middle, where momentum, it doesn't really play too much of a part. And that's, you know, where how I imagine a lot of these things. You know, you get these extreme rights, extreme lefts, you get these extremes here and there, and you often, once you know, just like in, you know, like in physics, right? Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So if something is really strong opposing this direction, there's going to be an opposite, you know, reaction on the other side. And it goes back and forth. But like a pendulum, it loses momentum as it gets, you know, swings back and forth. And eventually you reach equilibrium. When that occurs, I have no idea. Does it occur? I have no idea. It's just an idea. It's just a thought, a theory. It's just something in my observations of looking at the world. Jabba's left nut. I get criticized for having a weak handshake. I just don't like touching people. Don't know. Pisses me off when man try and break your hand. Well, unfortunately, Jabba, if you and I met, I probably would end up giving you a firm handshake. It's just, you know, it's the way I am. But I wouldn't really think any less of you. because I've met, I've shaken many people's hands, in the spectrum. And some people, some people aren't a big fan of handshaking. And me personally, I mean, touching other people, I'm not a touchy person. I'm not really, huge on a lot of close contact, other than with somebody who is dear to you, right? You have a familiarity with, and a concern for, and a general appreciation for. Sure. But as a general kind of greeting, no, not really, and even handshakes, I'm not, that's why I'm saying, let's start this one. Live long and prosper. And the sentiment behind it is very apt, and it's positive. And, yeah, sure, it makes you look like a fucking dork, but, what doesn't? And I mean, welcome to my freaking world where I look like a dork all the time, so. Old man Logan, I'm a hugger, so sure. But I mean, like, you meet somebody the first time, do you hug them the first time? Because see, I'm in my experience, not so much. When you get to know somebody and you see them and you haven't seen them in a while, giving them a hug, yeah, because you've already, had that familiarity, and so yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, I mean, like, some people are that way and some people aren't, and again, I mean, you have to accept people, right? I mean, like, yeah, somebody's a hugger. I mean, there's even people who are those the punchers, that punch you all the time, right? That's another one I've never understood. The punching person, like, just how they, or girls used to be really bad for that back in the day. They punch you all the time. Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? Okay, I'm gonna go eat lunch. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Go do something. Watch a TV. Watch a TV. Go watch a TV. That's really great advice. Go watch a TV. Oh yeah. Just a TV, Kris? Yeah. Just a TV. Oh man. I'm an idiot. Anyway. I've got nothing else. I'm running out of steam now. So that's what's happening. I'm running out of steam. I might need another drink. A coffee or tea or something. Not a drink. Now, Kris doesn't drink too much these days. Kris doesn't. No. Next one is actually, okay, spoiler alert. All right, I'll tell you guys. Spoiler. Kris is going to quit smoking again. Got to. I mean, I had to before too, but, But seriously, though. Yeah, I know. So if I get grumpy, then you'll know why. If I seem really on edge or just really pissy, you'll know why. Alrighty, folks, I'm getting the hell out of here. You guys go enjoy the rest of your day.